Hi, I'm Judge Kent Apsley. I'm judge at Shelby Superior Court Number 1, and I am the juvenile court judge as well. I've been asked to talk about our court-appointed special advocate program. Had the pleasure of participating in CASA trainings many times, and every time I talk to the group, I tell them how much I love what CASA does and how much I appreciate all their work. CASAs are just incredibly important to my day-to-day work dealing with child in need of services cases. They're that independent set of eyes for the court. I get input from both sides all the time. I get families who have one perspective. I have DCS, Department of Child Services, who have their program. But what I love about my CASAs is their client is the child. They're here to advocate for the child, what is in the best interest of the child. Often, parents, custodians, they're interested in themselves and what they want. DCS often has its programs, its parameters that they're interested in, but the CASAs truly speak for the children, and that's just invaluable to me. The fact of the matter is, a lot of times these cases, they're complex, people are busy, people have very, very limited time to check on these children and to report back. Court-appointed special advocates don't answer to anybody. They sometimes can spend more time with these children even than the caseworkers with Department of Child Services. We tend to have a lot of turnover with caseworkers in juvenile cases. We have a lot of various service providers. Some of those are hit and miss, some of those fall in and out. The one constant in these children's lives a lot of time is our court-appointed special advocate. So anybody who's interested or thinking about a court-appointed special advocate position or volunteering, I highly encourage you to do that. It's incredibly rewarding, and from the children's standpoint, I can't think of anything more important that you can do with your time.
So I became a CASA because, I think it's important. And growing up in, living in a foster home the last couple of years of my high school years and being aged out of 17, I think that it's really important to give back and to help others. I recently talked to a young lady at my office who mentioned the fact that she had a CASA, because I had a CASA shirt on, and she mentioned the fact that she had a CASA, and she said her last several years of high school was horrible, and she had a lot of in and out of foster homes, and her parents were not very good parents. But she said the one thing I do remember is that I had one CASA, and she was amazing. And I thought, that's what it's all about, is helping these kids, and whether you go to jail to talk to a mom about signing away her rights. And that was a hard one for me because, we laughed and we cried, and at the end she made the right decision. And this child is getting adopted at the end of this month. And that's the good part, and then you might have the baby was born with drugs in the system and the parents are still testing positive, or the 5 kids that may need to be removed from their home because of living conditions. And that's the hard part. But all in all, it's a very rewarding opportunity. And I think that we need more people that has a good heart, that wants to help these kids. And it will be much more rewarding than it isn't.
Hi, I'm Allison. I joined Shelby County, Rush County CASA in 2022. CASA means to me that those with little voices can have bigger voices. I work in the field of developmental disabilities. There was a news break story that had happened where an autistic child was left on the side at a gas station on the side of the interstate. So it really drew my attention in, because that's where my passion is, to be able to be a voice for those that don't have one like that autistic child. I really enjoy working with CASA. I like to meet all the people. I like all the kids. I really like the interaction we have with the kids and being able to allow them to have that voice and to learn how to use it in a big way.
Hello, I'm Amanda Harris. I'm the local office director for Rush County Department of Child Services, and I have been asked to talk about the CASA program for Shelby County. And I first want to start off with saying how appreciative we are in Rush County for all the work that our Shelby County CASA program does for our children and our families. So thank you for that. Second, I want to talk about why CASA is important to the children in the state of Indiana. CASA provides children a voice inside and outside of the courtroom. They also are dedicated to ensuring that every child be given an opportunity to thrive in a safe and loving environment. For years, CASA volunteers have protected and promoted the well-being of youth and children by giving them a voice to speak for themselves. With that being said, CASAs are extremely important to children in the state of Indiana and all over. They are there to support them, they are there to talk for them, they are there to listen to them, and we appreciate you for that.
Hello, I'm Mike Vollmer, former foster parent. I got 2 kids out of placement from a DCS case out of Rush County. I ended up adopting the kids, but during the pendency of the case, I became involved with the CASA. It was really nice to see they had a friend. The CASA was a friend to them. It was their voice. So anytime we went to court, the CASA would speak and let the court know what was going on and how the kids felt about the situation. So it's really important that we need more CASAs in our community. So if you have time to volunteer, come out and be the voice for the kids.
Hi, I'm Allison Everhart. I am Chief Probation Officer of Shelby County, and I am proud to serve as the current board president for CASA. CASA is so important in advocating for abused and neglected children within our communities. CASA, throughout the year, advocates for these children. They partner with community agencies in the month of April to help promote Child Abuse Awareness Month to help prevent future abuse. CASA ensures through great sponsorships that all children in our program receive great Christmases, as all children should. Without generous donations and sponsorships for our program, we would not be able to advocate and do what we do over the years. Thank you so much for all of your continued support for CASA.
My name is Brian Barrett. I'm the public defender in Rush County, Indiana. I represent people who are charged in criminal cases. I also represent people in child in need of services cases and also juvenile delinquency cases. I've had the opportunity to work closely with the CASAs, both in Shelby and Rush County over the last 20 years, and have become aware of how valuable the service that they provide is to the children, and especially the Department of Child Services cases that we handle. Interestingly enough, oftentimes the children seem like the forgotten element in the cases because of the focus that's put on the parents and their compliance with the requirements. So I've observed that the CASAs have been a voice for those children, especially the children that have incarcerated parents who are sometimes victims of those parents, but always victims of what's happened in those parents' lives. And frequently the CASAs are the only voice that seems to be speaking out clearly and entirely on behalf of the children of incarcerated parents. And I think it's a noble venture for the people that become involved in the CASA program, and I would encourage anyone who has an interest to look into it. You'll be rewarded many times over for your time.
Hi, my name is Paige Parsons. I was raised up here in Shelbyville, and I love CASA. CASA's great. I actually had a CASA. Her name was Lisa. She was like a second family to me, like a second mom. Loved her. She always helped me with anything and everything. She motivated me. She made me come out and speak all the time to like other people. She helped me through hearings that I couldn't do because I'm crying most of the time. So it really helped me push or like if I was in a bad mood, she would help me push myself and like push me forward all the time. Mikey is actually my adopted dad. He was a single parent, and whenever he needed help, Lisa was always there. I would say if I didn't have a CASA or Lisa, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. She also believed